Well, Governor Chris Christie is in Florida today on Monday for a conference with Republican governors. But here in New Jersey, we can't stop talking about what's next for the New Jersey governor and whether he'll be here come January. The question keeps getting more interesting, especially when looking at who has gotten a position. Reince Priebus has now been named Chief of Staff, and Steve Bannon is the senior strategist. So what's next for the New Jersey governor? I spoke with Scott from NJ101.5.
Make no mistake about it, after this election, Democrats are going to come back after the Republicans with a vengeance and a determination we haven't seen in a generation. And you're going to need somebody leading the Republican National Committee that isn't afraid to get down in the dirt and sling the mud and has a history of being a street fighter.
Now, it's interesting to note Scott has been correct in the past with his predictions. He said that he didn't think Christie would get Chief of Staff, although some said that could be a possibility because it didn't require Senate confirmation. But will he be right again? Well, anonymous sources in the New York Post over the weekend said it's over for Chris Christie, explaining that Trump is disgusted with the New Jersey governor over the way he treated Bridgegate in Bridgegate. I asked Scott what his response to that would be, and here's what he said.
Bridgegate certainly, from a political standpoint, damaged Chris Christie's brand. I also think there's continuing friction between Governor Christie and Donald Trump's son-in-law. And he and Mr. Kushner, have had it out on a couple of different occasions. And, ultimately, if Trump is going to take advice from one or the other, it's not going to be Chris Christie. Kushner's going to win every time.
I agree with Eric. We talked about it on the radio this morning that, to me, there's no chance that anyone seriously thinks Donald Trump had an issue with a staffer going to, getting convicted for something. I mean, whether you think Christie had something to do with it or not, these guys clearly were guilty. They were found guilty. There were tons and tons of evidence. I think justice was served. But I think more interesting on this is it was the media speculating about whether Chris Christie was going to be Chief of Staff. I didn't hear anybody else saying that was a possibility. Yeah, so it's almost like the media set it up to say, hey, he's going to be Chief of Staff. Oh, he's not.
I maybe mentioned it once or twice, Bill, so give me a break.
All right. By media, I meant Diana. Allison?
No, I was going to say the media still has to fill those hours.
That's right.
So
24-hour cycle, right.